The fate of the white helmets will be the same as that of any terrorist. They have two paths. Either lay down their arms and take advantage of the amnesty, or be wiped out like other terrorists.
And the Oscar goes to... Okay, the White Helmets.
We were in the basement. My mother told me that we had run out of food and wouldn't have anything to eat until tomorrow. I heard noise outside. Somebody was shouting that we had to go to the hospital, so we went there. When I came in, some people grabbed me, started pouring water over my head. That's me in the video, that's me. Yes.
The Syrian first responders who risk their lives to save others in war-torn Aleppo.
Face of unrelenting brutality, heroes have emerged.
They would bring cameras and explosives, something to destroy, for example, this building here. They'd find people in the streets and promise them money or food to say whatever they needed.
Whenever food aid was brought into East Aleppo, the White Helmets and the rebels would take it all for themselves. They give us nothing, not even bread.
They have all chosen to risk their lives to save others.
Do you ever see in Fardous men with white helmets, they're called the White Helmets or the Civil Defense, helping people when they were injured?
When they came to help the injured, they stole from them. If people were wearing jewelry, they cut it off. All of them are thieves.
Some of them are honest, but many are just thieves. They see gold and they take it.
This man accused the organization of intentionally killing his little girl.
I took her to the Civil Defense Hospital and they gave her an injection filled with air to kill her.
We've been able to get these brave people and their families out of Syria after the extraordinary work they've done saving lives.
The White Helmets, those people, they helped the rebels only. They didn't save civilians. They only looked out for rebels.
The fate of the White Helmets will be the same as that of any terrorist.
This is a SONOFMAN presentation. As y'all all know, frequencies of thought, this is where we literally open up our celestial ears and we literally interpret and understand the world and all the things within the world with our consciousness, which envelopes the universe. For your mind is a replica of how space is ever expanding. Peace and blessings, everyone. This is Frequencies of Thought. And blessings, my people. This is Frequencies of Thought. So I wanted to bring to the forefront to everybody's minds, because everybody sees where the world is heading to.
and in what direction everything seems to be going. This is extremely important for a few reasons. But the reasons, I'm pretty sure we all know. We want to live. We want to be able to do good. We want to be able to connect with our higher self. We want to know God. And we want to serve God. There are coming events that are being orchestrated so that you don't get to do any of that. When you begin to see Venezuela erupting in riots, this will be unlike anything you've ever seen. This will be a mass bloodshed from all angles. Something like what you would see in the medieval times. You'll see people stringing people up in the food courts, in the major cities, in the major shopping districts. And this is just a pretense of things to come and occur here in our country. And I don't really want to tell you guys none of these things, but these are things that you need to know. And this is why I've been trying so hard to get you guys to listen. Because about 3 years ago, I saw it all. Not only did I see it all, but I basically lived it. I felt fire. I felt pain. I had tears rolling down my eyes. When Venezuela decides to start going through this, most likely or more likely from what I'm seeing right now, by the end of this month, which is in a few days from now, the U.S. decides to basically intervene and step inside. When they do this, China and Russia basically unite and decide to attack. And when they attack us, they attack us in multiple ways. They injure our military so bad that we have no way to respond. I don't know, more like a technological malfunction where we either never see it coming or we just react too late. They hit major places. California, San Diego, a few other places. I don't want to name too many places because I don't want to be wrong and I don't want to panic a certain group of people who are in an actually safe place. But these states that get hit, these states get obliterated. They don't just get hit and that's it. Something blow up and maybe a building collapses. No. We're talking about multiple miles of destruction all at one time. And then everything gets locked down. People will be fleeing. People will be scared to go out. And while this is going on, you'll have the European army will go in and help the U.S. in Venezuela. And the European army basically begins to help the military here. But they won't be really helping. The only thing that'll really keep them off of you is the fact that there's other military resurgence in the country. But either military officials that see you will try to basically arrest you and basically put you in a truck in a camp somewhere. But that's what we're looking at. So it's almost kind of, in a way, it's a good thing that we get invaded like that, because our own military will be out to basically get anyone that they get. There's no specific people. Anyone. We gotta remain strong. Everyone needs to focus. Stop eating meat. It's lowering your vibration. It's not allowing you to see things for what they are. You're starting to basically believe in the things that seem to be. But because it seems to be, it does not mean that it's real.
It's time to get hip to the deception. They talk about 5G all the time. You have genes in your body. The 5th gene is what they're actually talking about. 5G means 5th gene. Your genes, remember, are like cell towers. That's what they are. Here's something that I pulled off of the internet. We're going to read it, and it's about the 5th gene. The 5th gene, as I've explained in past lectures, is the gene that literally replicates all other cells, which literally means everyone in your lineage, all of your ancestors, and then it literally overrides the genetic code of the gene, and it literally causes that gene to literally be mutated into that which is negative instead of that which is positive. So let's read on. This gene then encodes a home box containing transcription factor. That means that this gene literally has a transcription factor, meaning it encodes other genes. Those other genes produce cells just like all cells do, like all genes do, sorry. This transcription factor functions in heart formation and development. Mutations in this gene. This is very key and this is very important. This is why I'm reading it to you. Because the Father is going to give you a new heart. And the only way for him to give you a new heart is if you understand what it is that he's trying to give you. You have to let go of all the deception that these people have given you. The Quran, the Bible, the Old Testament, the New Testament, the book of Confucius, the book of the Bhagavad Gita, the book, or should I say all of the tablets that have been found over millennia of time, they're all biological. There is absolutely nothing about them that is outside you, and there is nothing about them that is actually speaking about one particular man. Remember, my people, this is deception. Why do you think they're promoting this stuff to you? Let's read on. This transcription factor functions in heart formations and development. Mutations in this gene cause atrial septal defect with atrioventricular conduction defects. That means that your atriums is literally what pumps the blood in and out of your heart from one side of your body to the neck. This allows for your blood to be purified, for your blood to be cleaned. This causes a defection in that. Literally meaning that what it does is that instead of it pumping it in one direction, it pumps it in another. And also, tetralogy. Tetralogy of phala. Tetralogy of phala. So now, remember that I spoke to you and told you the truth about the tetrad. The world promotes to you the tetrad as being the 4 blood moons, and so it is. But it is only that because they're calling it that. What's bound in heaven is bound on earth. If there's 4 tetrad moons outside of you in the cosmos, then there's 4 blood moons as well as in you. These 4 blood moons are called the tetrad, also inside of you. And what the scriptures calls it is basically the tetramorph. The tetramorph is basically how our scriptures basically depicts and explains it to us. Through the Strong Concordance, if you go into 5069 on the Greek tip, what ends up happening is you get tetradian. And tetradian is basically the tetrad of ions, or the ion tetrad, meaning off of the photons which come off of the sun, which is basically transmuted into heat. Once it hits our skin, it comes into our plasma, and then while in the plasma, it literally begins to merge all metals, whether they're real or fake. So you must have real metals in your body in order to actually make a good transition. In order to receive according to your measure, you have to have good ions, good metals as well as good ions as well. You got to definitely have natural light coming into your bloodstream. So tetradian is basically the tetrad. The tetrad, as you all know, as you can see on the screen, is literally what I explained to you in a past lecture, where I explained the tetrad to all of you, and how the tetrad is literally something that literally deals with your genes. And inside of your genes, these 4 things are literally what make up all of who you are. It literally has your memories, it literally has your sex, it literally has your genealogy, and then most of all, it literally has your personality. So viewing and understanding that you guys have just heard that, and you remember or at least viewed the past scriptorical lecture where I spoke about the tetrad, you have to understand that the word tetradian and its counterpart, tetradian is what the word means in Greek. In Hebrew, it means nadab. Nadab is basically another way of saying free will. And when you look these numbers up, because I want you to look them up, don't ever take nothing I'm telling you on face value. I need y'all to research, because that is the only way any of you actually get freed from this mental enslavement that you're in. You have to understand that nadab also stands for that which carries, which are 4 soldiers. They're Roman soldiers, and what they did was that they carried the gold and the silver for the God of the children of Israel. And didn't I just tell you that your body literally needs the sun to literally mesh and merge all the real metals and real elements in your body, so that you can literally formulate thought and formulate new genes and create new progressive membranes within your own body. This is what helps you literally build and create and be given by our Father a new heart. Why? Because your heart becomes iron. It becomes it becomes full of the metals in which it is supposed to be, not in which the government wants it to be. This is why all of you are so emotional and mushy right now, because you are eating all the things that you should not be eating. You're listening and you're thinking and you're watching all of the things that you should not be doing. These things all affect you. Why? Because your body is made out of liquid. And if you put sound in front of any vessel with liquid in it, whether it be a cup or a box, that sound will vibrate and cause ripples in that water. Whether you can see them with your eyes or you can't, you must understand that to be so. That is called logic and thought. That is logical thinking. You should know that. So, that is what the word nadab means, which is 5069, which is basically the same word as tetradian, which means the tetrad, which are literally the ones that release something called the locus. And the locus are the X chromosomes or the X genes in your body that literally come out onto the surface of the body and basically receive the Y. The Y what? The Y gamma from the sun. So all of you talking about that y'all wanna basically get y'all Y gamma thing going, I'm trying to show you how. If you think you're just gonna sit there and continue to do what you're doing and eat the things that you're eating, and that all of a sudden, somehow, some way, you're just gonna be transformed, my man, ain't nothing happening. Everyone gets and is given according to his measure. You need to wake up and understand that race is not real. They made race real. Under our skin, we are all the same color. Our souls don't even have a color. It is what inhabits the human body which causes the people to do wicked things unto each other. I've told you many, many times. White people are like white blood cells. Black people are like red blood cells. And instead of killing one another, they need one another in your body. The white blood cells protect the white blood cells protect the red blood cells from all aliens, which is what you would call a parasite or a bacterium in your body or a virus. And the red blood cells are the workers. They mind. And what they mind is basically they mind their membranes. And that's where the gold is. That's where all of this is at. So wake up, my people. Get back to the lecture. Which are both heart malformations, diseases, mutations in the genes, can also cause congenital hypothyroidism, non-goitrous type 5, a non-autoimmune condition. Alternative splicing results in multiple transcripts variants. Implicated in commitment to and or differentiate of the myocardial lineage. Acts as a transcription activator of ANF in cooperation with GATA4. GATA4. Now, let's read what GATA4 is. Mutations or defects in the GATA4 gene can lead to a variety of cardiac problems, including congenital heart disease, abnormal ventral folding, and defects in the cardiac septum separating the atria and ventricles, and hypoplasia of the ventricular myocardium. And that's what they really want to mess with, is the hydroplasia, because that deals with the plasma. And by them dealing with the plasma that's literally in our bloods, it literally causes mutations in us. The information that we take gets encoded into our DNA. Remember what I told you. Remember what I told you. I'm trying to show y'all as clear as day what's about to happen, what's going on. None of these people are telling you these things, and you're literally being deceived by all these channels. All of them. Ain't none of them really telling you anything that you really need to know. They're all literally following along the lines of spookism and magic and fantasy. This ain't fantasy. You got one body, one soul, and your soul needs that body in order for it to actually grow. So guess what happens if you lose that body or you mess up that body by mutating it? Your soul is lost. by similarity, binds to the pore DNA motif of NPPA promoters. It is transcriptionally controlled by PBXY and acts as a transcriptional repressor of CDKN2B by similarity. It is required for spleen development. So basically, what this is basically trying to tell you is that they're putting something into your body, in the foods that you eat, the soda, the meats, the fake fruits and the fake vegetables, and all of the GMO and all of the MSG and so on and so forth. All of these things literally get in the body, and they're imitations of other real elements such as aluminum, mercury, titanium, nickel, metal, iron. And what these things do is that they're fake. And since they're fake, they're imitations. So the body does not know that it's an imitation, so it goes and it picks it up and it takes it to where it has to go. And once it gets to the place where it has to go, there it begins to corrupt all of the natural elements, all of the natural cells, all of the natural metals that are in your body, which then causes a mutation to begin. You can read what CDKN2A is up on the screen right now. All of these things are literally things that literally cause mutations in your blood, which literally deal with your cells. But this one in particular, it deals with the chromosome. And the chromosome that it deals with is chromosome 9. Aren't you waiting for planet 9? Don't you have an iPhone 9, the X phone? Wake up. And this mutation is what they're trying to basically fulfill. And I'm trying to basically stop. You have to be aware of the deception. This deception is not easy. It is easy to understand that there's a deception. You just have to look around and listen to what I'm saying. Go back into my past lectures and listen to what it is that I'm explaining to you. That is what 5G is all about. 5G been rolled out. And what they're doing with the 5G is literally mutating your genes, your genetics, especially of those of your children. They're trying to mutate the gene. This causes people to act other than themselves.
Wake up, my people. You've run out of time. Stella.